Hey everyone, welcome back. Soon the global version will have version 1.3 update, and luckily we will have many early adaptation of late game updates. And more importantly, we will have the Hades banner who stays at the top of the tier for a long time. She is certainly a very powerful dealer but can be difficult to use at the beginning, so hope this guide will help you to maximize the efficiency of Hades. Okay, let's start guide. Firstly, Hades is Divine Grace type unit, but unlike other Divine Grace type unit, she has to maintain the Divine Grace in certain level. Hades uses 2 puppet as weapon, and 1 puppet consume the Divine Grace upon hitting, while other puppet gain the Divine Grace upon hitting. If you see the normal attack, you can see the Divine Grace is decreased and increased at the same time. If you fully hit the normal attack, you will gain 9 Divine Grace, but don't really need to remember the exact amount. Just remember you will gain some Divine Grace with fully hit normal attack. If you see this area, you can see the puppet mark. This mark indicates which puppet is being controlled, but to make it simple, you can remember left side mark is Divine Grace consuming mode and right side mark as Divine Grace gaining mode. I will just call it left side mode and right side mode. When the left side mark is on, all skills will consume the Divine Grace. And when the right side mark is on, all skills will gain the Divine Grace upon hitting. Personally, I just remember the skill mark to determine if this skill is gaining or consuming the Divine Grace. Skills with spinning looks are consuming Divine Grace, and skills with hitting impact looks are gaining Divine Grace. Use whichever way is easier to remember for you. So how to change the puppet or mode to control? You can switch it with skill 1. Skill 1 is switching the puppet skill, but when you use skill 1, you will get into dance partner mode first. You can see the mark is now appearing at the both sides when you use skill 1. In this mode, skill 2 and 3 also change to dance partner skill. Even though the skill mark is not changed, different skills will be launched when you get into dance partner mode, and this mode will be end if you use any skill one time. So to make it clear, the flow is like this. Let's say you are in the left side mode. Use skill 1, get into dance partner mode. Use any skill 1 time, automatically become right side mode. Use skill 1, get into dance partner mode. Use any skill 1 time, automatically become left side mode. No matter from which side you use skill 1, dance partner mode skill will be same. One more thing is, using skill 1 also trigger the dodge effect, which is slowing the enemy. This effect will be triggered if the dodge effect is not under a cooldown. Skill 2 and skill 3 are dealing skills. Skill 2 deals the damage and do small dot damage. Skill 3 deals the damage and gather the enemy around. They do same in both modes. The only different thing is whether the skill will gain or consume the Divine Grace. And all skill animation can be cancelled right after launched. Fully hit skill 2 will gain 6 Divine Grace and consume 9 Divine Grace depend on the mode. Fully hit skill 3 will gain 15 Divine Grace and consume 14 Divine Grace depend on the mode. Once again, you don't need to remember the exact amount, but I give the number just for your reference only. Skill 2 in Dance Partner mode is good for a single enemy, and Skill 3 in Dance Partner mode is good for crowded enemies, so for boss fight, you will mainly use Skill 2 in Dance Partner mode. Just remember, Divine Grace will be gained or consumed if the skill hit the enemy. If skill didn't hit the enemy, Divine Grace will not be affected. Next thing is, if you maintain the Divine Grace between 25 and 75, you will get this stunning mark every 6 seconds up to 4 marks. Every mark will give critical rate and damage bonus, and more importantly, you can release the Dance Duo skill upon consuming 4 marks by holding normal attack button. This is the strongest skill of Hades, and you can use normal attack while the skill is launched, so don't forget to use normal attack to boost the damage. Ultimate skill deals the shadow damage and give critical rate and damage bonus on team member based on the number of Thornic mark. Also, it will return the Divine Grace to 50. So it is ideal to use ultimate skill when you get 4 Thornic mark to get full buff per team and followed by Dance Duo. So the basic combo will be like use skill and switch puppet to maintain the Divine Grace between 25 and 75 to get 4 Thornic mark. Then use Dance Duo once you get 4 Thornic mark. Use ultimate skill before Dance Duo if the ultimate skill is ready. I recommend to use red code as this code will give the highest damage output. With help of the second code, you can collect 4 Thornic mark faster and use Dance Duo more often. And help of first and last code, you will get damage buff. So in this code, you need to try maintain Divine Grace between 40 and 60. However, this can be a little bit tough at the beginning, so what I suggest is manage the Divine Grace between 30 and 70 until get 4 Thornic mark, and manage Divine Grace between 40 and 60 right before use Dance Duo. You will learn when to switch between puppet to manage the Divine Grace while you are practicing. If you use Hades without Oniroi, this will be easier as the ultimate skill will return the Divine Grace to 50 once the ultimate skill is launched. However, if you use Hades with Oniroi for ultimate skill chain, Divine Grace will not return to 50 anymore. So you have to manually control Divine Grace around 50 before use ultimate skill chain. It is totally okay if the Divine Grace get lower than 30 or get higher than 70 time to time. Just switch puppet and try to gain or consume Divine Grace depend on the situation. Most important thing is maintain Divine Grace between 40 and 60 before using Dance Duo. In addition, you can use the cutscene to gather the Thornic mark as time is still running on this cutscene. Similarly, you can use this to get the skill cooldown too. Yellow code is good for shadow damage team support as this code will allow Hades lower the defense and shadow resistance of enemy. However, the damage output of Hades will be the lowest with this code. So if you want to use Hades as sub-dealer in other than shadow damage team, I suggest you to stick with red code. The AI of Aether Gauger is pretty good and AI Hades was doing fine with red code. You can use Dark Flag Sigils together with this newly released Sigil. This Sigil set will be good on Dance Duo as this will add more fixed damage. You can consider to replace Dark Flag Sigil with this Sigil. This set will give shadow damage buff but cannot give damage buff on Dance Duo, so I prefer the Dark Flag Sigil set. For enchant, you can aim for the normal dealer enchant options such as attack, critical rate and damage, then ultimate skill charge, shadow damage and skill damage. In addition, you can replace the Philosopher's Fantasies with this newly released Sigil for Hell. This will increase the damage output of Hell. Unlike Hera or Hell, Signature Functor for Hades only increase the damage output of Dance Duo, and the damage output of Dance Duo is already good. This will make Signature Functor less critical for Hades. However, I am satisfied with the damage bonus of Signature Functor, so I'll just show the damage difference of Signature Functor and other Gen Zone Functor and let you decide. Just note that 5-star Gen Zone Functor will not be useful as Hades cannot trigger the 0 time. You better go for Gen Zone 4-star Functor instead. It's good to team up with Oniroi for ultimate skill chain with another Olympus modifier. as the ultimate skill chain will give 60% damage buff on Olympus modifier, and this team will also get the both of modified mode bonus and combat bonus. You can also add Hell on this team for shadow damage buff. Otherwise, you can form a shadow damage team, but you have to pay attention on managing the Divine Grace, as team will fully restore the Divine Grace once they get into modified mode. For a similar reason, you are not recommended to use this Mimir, as this will make the managing Divine Grace harder. This Mimir is recommended as this will help to charge the ultimate skill faster. Once you try the Hades, you will feel that she is really powerful dealer. She is ranged attack unit, so it's even easier to avoid the enemy attack, and if you don't have enough dealer in your team, I can guarantee she will be the solution for you. I wish the best luck on Hades banner gacha for everyone who will go for Hades, and hope this guide has been helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Bye guys.